Fighting has been in human society since the ancient days, where cavemen used to beat each other over the head with sticks to Roman gladiators, all the way to Minecraft bed wars in the current day and age. What I'm saying is we are enamored by fighting. It just hits that part of our brain that just makes us want to scream and cream at the same time. We were born with the love of the competitive spirit and the love of the competition, so this got me thinking while I was watching Domestic Girlfriend for the 6th time. Why not make a video about fighting and some of my most favorite fights I've ever experienced as an anime fan? There won't be no manga spoilers, so we'll be going in this purely off anime and anime only, so you're welcome. Round of applause, round of applause. If there was manga included, there would be an easy answer, respectfully, but that's besides the point, you know. And you're probably asking, how are we ranking any of these fights? Well, dear viewer, I'm glad you asked that question. We are going to rank them by 3 major points. First and foremost, we gotta go with animation. If the fight is visually appealing, then I'm creaming, so that is part of the grade. Another one would have to be story significance. This also plays into the whole thing, because if the fight is narratively impactful, that shit hits like crack when 2 characters finally meet. For example, Sasuke versus Itachi. Last but not least would be the emotional impact it had on myself. This is really just a personal point, and to balance out everything, it's kind of the drawbreaker, it's to make everything evenly. So those are the 3 points that I'll go with to decide the best fight in anime for me personally. Sadly, there might be a bit of recency bias because some of these, it's been so long since I've seen them, and others I've seen them like literally yesterday. So it's all personal opinion. If you have your own list, let me know in the comment section below, because there's plenty I have seen and haven't seen. So with all that, I think it's finally time to get into the list. I will also be doing only top 5 because top 10 is a lot, and this video is already 4 hours long. So we will be doing a top 5 fights only. But fuck it, we do it a little bit wacky over here. Not fully explained honorable mentions. This one is new, so it's kind of spoilers, but you should have definitely seen it by this point. And this fight is Sung Jin Woo versus the Red Knight from Fortnite. This is visually crazy as shit. They go pure hands, blow for blow, more like ass beat for ass beat, but I feel like this isn't the peak of solo leveling, so I can't really rate it too highly because the series isn't over yet besides the manga, but I haven't read that. And I feel like they could have a cooler fight, plus the emotion isn't really there, but it's definitely hype as fuck for the viewer. This one, a lot of people are going to be mad at me for. Sasuke versus Itachi. And yes, I know this fight has like everything I explained on the list. It's got emotional moments, the story impact is wild, and the feelings it pulls on you when the fight is over is crazy. But sadly, some peak had to be left off. I mean, this fight was teased all the way back in the beginning of Naruto and fully fucking delivered. Maybe it's because I haven't watched it in so long, or because I've consumed it in so many different medias, but this fight just don't hit me the same. And honestly, I don't remember my feelings during this whole fight. I just remember being hype as fuck seeing these two finally square off. Another great fight from Naruto is Naruto versus Pain. This has everything I said before. So much emotion in this fight, from Jiraiya dying that affected Naruto to Hinata getting stabbed, the whole village getting destroyed. There's a lot of emotion not only for Naruto but us as the viewer. You've been watching since the beginning, and seeing so many of your fan favorites die, it's a top fight, but I think it has the same problem with my previous Naruto fight. Just my feelings being diluted and not really remembering how I truly felt. But I do remember being hyped when the Six Tails was cooking Pain's fraud ass. And speaking of frauds, I think it's finally time we get into the top fights. And with that, we are kicking off with fight number 5, and that is Luffy versus Lucci. This fight was beyond insane when I first watched this fight. I still remember the feeling of screaming for Luffy to get up and to continue, to fight, to finally save Robin from all this mental torture she had been dealing with all arc. And it finally comes to a head when Luffy and Lucci face off, to be the last shackle to break before having her free forever. The story impact is still one of the best arcs in One Piece. Like, this shit was on a generational 10 out of 10 run with banger arc after banger arc, but this fight was something that still sticks with me to this day. I go back and watch it over and over again, never getting enough of it. Going back to the story, it's up there with some of the best, but visually is where it lacks because it came out in the early 2000s. It still holds up pretty well. It's very much carried by its emotional impact on me and the overall story impact it has. Usopp screaming for Luffy to get up and fight to the final Gatling. Everything about this fight hits. This was an easy choice for me to put in the top 5. Plus, it's One Piece, so that helps. But in all seriousness, this fight was an easy choice to put for the top 5 greatest fights I've ever seen. Great fight, great story, and great feels from your boy. With great pain comes number 4, though. This one is probably the most base option I put on this list, which I don't know, they could all be base to be honest, but this one feels the most based. But this fight ain't really even a fight, it's a fucking smackdown. Gon versus P2. This fight was built up all arc. Gon's new mentor sacrificing himself himself to save Gon and Killua, it felt like this was a need, and the reaction from Gon to say, hey, fuck it, I'm a ball for real, and just lose myself mentally, turning into a beast, paralleling the fuck out of Mirim, who became more human. Animation-wise, this fight is sick. I mean, covering Gon in his own darkness, transforming his body into a prime JoJo self was so fucking hype. I thought, shit, maybe this would be the craziest fight, but no, it was a no smackdown, like no context, which I think adds to the whole emotional factor of it because it feels so awesome and hopeless at the exact same time, which works very well in the moment because, like, what the fuck is gonna happen with Gon? Yeah, we know what happens and he loses his nin abilities, and it's a great repercussion for using that type of power. It was a great fight, a real beatdown, and honestly, the story was great, and it was a fucking peak for me. And with peak comes number 3. It's also based as fuck, but it's a new one that is fucking awesome, and that is Yuji and Todo versus Mahito. This includes the whole fight from IMU to Todo tweaking the fuck out. And yeah, while others might say, hey, Sukuna versus Mahoraga, and yeah, I've seen the updated fight, it's beyond human comprehension, and it don't really fit into many of the categories because some of the impact is in the story later on, and that involves spoilers, and like I said, we're not doing spoilers here. And if you want to know how I felt, I was screaming, creaming. This shit was cool as fuck. But back to the main thing. Yuji vs Mahito was built up since the first season. It felt like maybe this could be the final boss of JJK, but it wasn't. They mopped up Mahito in about the halfway point of the series. And even at Mahito's peak, Yuji just cooks his shit. It was hype, and I mean, after everything that had happened in Shibuya and in the first season with Junpei, the constant mental torture, this felt like a need for Yuji to finally get his left-right goodnight combo on Mahito at least a few times. I mean, the voice acting added so much to this, so many moments that made you scream on Yuji to win this fight. It makes it so much more better for the viewer, and oh boy did Mappa cook with the animation. Good lord, this shit looked good, felt good, and as my friends say in the movie industry, this is cinema. Story-wise, this is massive for Yuji, like I said, built up over a whole season, then they added the tenfold by killing 2 key figures in Yuji's life. And if they don't defeat Mahito here, here's one more enemy added to the ranks who's awakened and has even gotten the ability to Black Flash. It was so necessary to beat him before shit got out of control. I'll say it and I'll say it again, this shit was hype. A tearjerker from the deaths to the ass whooping to the hopelessness to the nah I'm you. All great feelings from watching this, but sadly it doesn't beat number 2, which is Emiya versus Gilgamesh. Wow, this fight, I mean, what can I say? This is one of the only fights I physically got out of my seat and screamed, yo, what the fuck? Visually, it's fucking ufotable, so you know they gon' cook with almost everything they touch, even the Genshin Impact adaptation. I mean, this was pure beauty to the eyes, all the sword clashes, and I know I didn't mention music as a category for ranking this, but this is one of those themes that just sticks with me through everything. When I'm crying, I'm jamming it. When I'm playing pro clubs, I'm jamming it. Any situation, I'm jamming this song. Then this is a fight that just has me geeking. My mouth's dropped. Literally everything you can possibly imagine, I felt that shit in the very moment. Anytime I see it get adapted into any other form besides the main Unlimited Blade Works, I fucking just scream and get so hyped because this fight just hits me to my core. Hits my soul. This shit is peak as fuck. Story-wise, I mean, it's the final boss before they can end this Holy Grail war, before everything can be stopped, and Emiya being the perfect counter for Gilgamesh makes you think, is it really so bad to be the jack of all trades? If you can have crazy noble phantasms that can spawn hella swords or can copy any sword, this fight is just peak as fuck. And if you haven't seen Unlimited Blade Works, watch it now. And now for the highly anticipated number 1 fight that everybody was waiting for, and my number 1 fight would have to be Tomoya versus his depression. Yeah, I know. Not only is it a mental fight, but it's also one he deals with for a decent part of the second season, even having a great resolution. But that's what I would say if it was number 1. But the real number 1 for me is Gohan versus Cell. This fight is one that just hits on all levels for me personally. No, this is gonna sound cringe, but this has been the only fight to actually make me shed tears. And the ending, oh boy, the ending of this fight is one that you will remember for your life. To Vegeta's final ki blast hitting Cell in the save at the end, Goku screaming on Gohan to use all the people Cell has killed as his power, and Chi-Chi screaming, don't take my son away, while the music's absolutely going dummy in the background, and Gohan thinking that he can't do it, but in actuality he can. It's fucking amazing, and this is the show's first showcase of Super Saiyan 2, which was perfect, I must say. It showcased the raw power and the raw scream from Gohan when he finally obtained this new peak at the time. Animation wise, I know at the time of this airing it blew people away. The fact that if Gohan doesn't win, the Earth is beyond cooked is massive stakes that in Dragon Ball standards aren't too crazy now, but in that moment in time there was a fuck ton riding on it. The world could end, the androids could take over again. It was beautiful, peak cinema as they say. Also, the way you felt for Gohan screaming with him, feeling the raw emotions from everybody else as they rooted for him was fucking heart-wrenching, and you just wanted him to win that much more. This was an amazing moment, an amazing fight, and just amazing all around, and that's why it is my top fight in anime of all time. The raw emotion, not only for the characters, but from me, and just the beauty of it all. Hopefully everybody did enjoy this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know down in the comment section below what are your top anime fights, and also critique me if you think any of my selections were ass.